Okay guys, so I've one more fairly important thing now to do with CSS that I need to show you today. So by now, each of you should have made your timetable in HTML and created an external CSS file that styles the table along the lines of something like this. So this code here, this CSS here, has styled the table, has styled the caption. And what makes this particular exercise interesting is that in our table we have THs and TDs. So the heading cells are THs, the regular cells are TDs, and we can style those very, very differently. The plot's going to thicken considerably now. So here, what I have done is inside in the cells for networking, inside in the TD tag, I have said TD space class equals net. And I've done that for each of the networking cells. For each of the web cells, inside in the TD cell, inside in the TD tag, I've said TD class equals web. So those classes now are associated with those elements. Those elements are those classes. Inside in the CSS then, I say something like this. So this says wherever you have a TD cell, wherever you have a TD that has the class net, I want you to apply these styles. And in this case, I've changed the background color. Wherever you have a TD with the class web, I want you to do these styles. Now, all of the styling information that applied to TDs generally still applies to those TD cells. But the background properties are overwritten. So in this case, the TDs that have the class net will still have the same color, still have the same border, still have the same font family. It's just the background color has changed. So this then allows you to color code the timetable, which I think is quite cute. So I'd like you to do that. If these cells that have nothing in them, if you just have TD/TD and put nothing in there, you can use a table property called empty cells hide, and that will make the cells with nothing in them completely invisible, which makes the timetable much more readable also. So by the time you're done now, you will have your double classes sorted with col span or row span, depending on how your timetable is structured. You'll have the TDs and THs styled differently, and then you color code each of the subjects as well, each of the modules. Now, I wouldn't recommend that you use a different font for each module. I would say keep them all the same and just use a different background color. And then you should have a lovely color-coded, readable timetable. So everybody clear on what I'd like you to do? Now, I'm expecting that by the end of this week you'll have that done. But do we have another class apart from today? Yeah, tomorrow as well. Okay. So you might not get that done today. Now, some people might be a bit behind. This week now is a week you really need to catch up, okay? We can't really wait for anyone much longer. If you don't get this sorted this week, we'll be on to something else soon. But we can afford a bit of time for people to catch up, but not much more now. I do my best to put the classes on the blog there, and you can see the YouTube videos. The quality on YouTube isn't brilliant, but I think it's good enough for what we need. So you can catch up with those if you want. But it's really now time you caught up, you know. I don't care if you transferred in from somewhere. I don't care if you were sick. Like, there comes a point where, you know, you're either on board or you're not. So you need to catch up if you haven't done so. If you're all caught up and all you need to do is color code, that's fine. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you then to mess with different properties like border properties, just see how the fonts work. Google some of the different properties that you can use in CSS and see how they work. Okay, any questions? I'll leave the code up there. I'll leave, actually I'll try and leave it all up there. So I'll leave up some of the CSS. And we'll leave up the, so you can see how that works there, okay?